Which one of you's first? Too slow. Is that it? Apparently not. They're not getting past me. slow. Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back inside.
Sid, you're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt...
I'm afraid I've only delayed the end. There's no getting rid of that ether, meaning that any living thing would stop.
And that's if the flood don't spread. I hate to say it, but the village is...
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, we'll fortify the gates to the... and I'll see that they got...
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravosh needed you. So... thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt... I always envied you. You leaving gave me the perfect... and from that day on, I never want... You'd have been the death of this...
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually.
Alive, perhaps. Our work used to be the... Now, we churn out the same... It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing the average castle apprentice has as much passion. Come back to us, Blackthorn. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means...
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. There's people who trust their lives to my steel. But that doesn't mean... Let's see if we can't rekindle this...
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him... Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw. Back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
And this is?
A token of a... but... designs for a certain sword have been part...
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravosh in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with a hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
With a little help from Blackthorn, I don't see why we can't restore Dravosh to its former glory. Barring ether floods, that is.
I'll get him back to the hideaway. Don't you worry about that.
I'll tell you what, Clive.
Come back.
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of Papio nuts and all.
The man himself.
We were just about to make it.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is, then.
Well, bugger me. We actually did it.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I, trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Trouble with your gear, or... And if it hadn't... What's saying for you, dear? bad, if I do say so myself. And? What do I owe the honor? What do you want? Yeah, that should do you. And? Trouble with your gear, or... Well, if it hadn't... What do you want? And?
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of papio nuts and all.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. Come again. Or don't. I'm not much bothered anyway.
Blasted book. Here, you put...
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing. Thank you very... You remember Ivan's stew? So I thought I'd try making one of these supposed master...
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped. Ivan,
Yeah, but this is my blimmin' kitchen.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only So,
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Only, turns out
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you say? Perhaps you know of one? Kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates, and if he does, I'll see if...
You do that.
Sid! How about a round for us?
What can I get you, Sid? Honestly, Sid, you're too nice. Do you hear that, ladies and gents? The next round's courtesy of the... Oh, keep your mug handy.
Lawsman Harpocrates. I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Valicia, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find...
So the fabled Saint-Briquois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress... Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern. They're ground liver.
Dragon livers. How very Saint-Briquois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside...
So we know where to look for...
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance. A herb which grows along... I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers. I may add that people once believed...
Meaning that if I...
Best of luck, and do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Sid said I could ride the Enterprise next. No, she didn't. She said I could.
Sid, perhaps you...
I can certainly try.
It's not who, but what. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about... My first thought was that they'd taken them off, which almost certainly means...
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just... I don't like to imagine that my pupils would like... They were in the atrium when I last...
Oh, don't tell me we've run out of
Stew's awfully thin these days.
There's no way of knowing if Doris will confide.
What am I gonna do? Oh. But no.
Is everything all right, Goose? You seem more...
Oh, I don't know what that means. Oh, I think Nan...
It's all right.
Folk are saying she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that, but she'd never do business with bad... I wanted to ask her about it myself. She'd...
Don't worry.
You'll let me know...
Of course.
Have you
tried Molly's lemon tarts?
Canva lost.
I finally finished the book I was writing. You're welcome to read it. If young Jocelyn hasn't already defiled its pages with his infernal scribblings.
You should just tell me, Shirley.
You'll get us all straight. I'm telling you, I can fix them.
Sid!
Hard at your studies, I see. And what is that? It's not a set of scales, is it?
No. Of course it isn't.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh,
And just how long hasn't it been one?
we're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Middledore showed us.
Miss Middledore? And why would she have you dismembering her creations?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Middledore said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well, then your work is already half done. Carry on.
About that.
The taking apart was easy enough, but it's the putting back we can't work out.
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility for your actions. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes, shall we? All right. Everything here was once part of Miss Midderdoll's scales. Every piece has its own role to play, and each is just as important as the others. If even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces, the body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the others? This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like a wing. Like a chocobo wing!
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid? Will you teach me to ride one day?
I'll think about it. Now, what do arms do?
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right track. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them in the kitchens to fry bangers. But these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. They're for weighing stuff. But what if I wanted to weigh Goots? I don't think he'd fit on that little thing.
Probably not.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever seen one before?
I have. Miss Middledor's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales that moved?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then somebody ate it.
It's not my fault. You shouldn't have tried weighing it before lunch.
We know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to move. So, let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. You see? is not so difficult. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do, what do you think?
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the other pieces fit onto it, don't they?
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms.
Or wings, if you're a chocobo.
And then the arms hold the pans by the chains.
Very good. Let's see if that works. There. All finished.
Yes! We did it!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together. It was you three engineers who showed me how.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's hairs.
Her hairs?
Yeah, hairs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when we're older.
What do you think, Sid? Are we almost ready?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley, I'd say it won't be long at all.
You hear that? It won't be long.
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look! We never used the cogwheel.
You don't think Sid forgot about it, do you? Didn't happen to forget anything, did you, Sid?
With Canva in the hands of Akashic.
Don't tell me.
Oh no, I'm working on. It's got a reverberatory hood over the top. That let's just say it gets very blim. Only mythical engines get hotter. Trouble is, and I hear.
If it's for the good of the. Oh. So.
We've got a couple of examples.
More fallen material. So this smelter is similar to the myth.
That's right. And what's more, they're directional. We've collected as many as we can.
So you want me to visit some?
That's it. We're only 3 short. There's one up Amber Way and another in this.
All right.
It'll do.
Where are you?
Can I help you, Sid?
I'm looking for Doris. Is she here?
I'm afraid not. My job, actually.
Did she?
Following up on some once they'd settled in.
The slaver Cole's team were tracking when they were attacked by... I'll go and find her.
If she's not moved on already.
Why would Doris insist on going alone? Maybe Cole was right to be worried.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go. Always something in there.
do you split the sea?
Covered in nicks and lumps, the lot of them.
Come back. Well, did you solve the mystery?
It was as you thought. They dismantled them to see how they worked.
Oh, no, Mid will have my head.
Thankfully, although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry. I shall see that the children are properly...
Please, there's no need. She'd have them following her.
I see. Sid, do you know why?
She told me it was because her...
No, it isn't. To anyone else, it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, who lost both her parents, but that should come as no surprise.
Which explain. She's working to give them a better life.
Ah, you've given them far more...
Lady Karen.
Not nearly.
You're...
Can't What exactly? Not once in 5 long years.
just... asking. All right. I'm here because I was told that certain rumors have been circulating. About you selling weapons to brigands.
Oh. Are ya? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploits?
I didn't exactly hear firsthand. All I know is that someone in Dalamil has...
And what? You believe it? You think I'm profiting off the blood of it? Look, I've done things I'm not proud, but that woman...
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt you.
No. I reckon you've got...
Of course. I spoke with...
What?
That the rumors were unfounded. And that I, along with some other things, and while it sounds like she...
Oh, I knew... But why would people say she...
No, but people do things...
Well, that trader, so that's where I'm...
Are you sure?
Oh, well...
Holding back. Straight home now. beast isn't to be trifled with.
There were ghosts at the gates not days ago.
You needn't fret. The creatures have been...
To the meadows, then.
That's what
Poggety said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect. Come on. Faster! these ones first. Now to find this spherical echo. This is it. Right then. Just two more to find.
There were ghosts at the gates, not Daisy. Those things I said before.
So many were injured.
Oh, my wards and I...
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders. Not that any of those things still exist.
And what does he want with...
He wants to transfer a foundation upon which to build a new... He's already secured the support of the various armies.
He would rob the...
Believe me. I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him.
What does Captain Phil... When the town was under attack, it was...
How? By speaking out against a man whose stated aim... The captain can offer them a regular supply... No. Any attempt to given the mood around town.
Who could blame?
Clive, would you, for your services to Northreach, and unlike Philippe, well...
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Tell me then, in the garrison.
Overseeing.
All right. I've met this duke before. At the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
You needn't fret. The creatures are...
Halt. Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. I was hoping I'm...
We're under orders not to let any civilians... But you should be all right. Wait here.
So, you are the sellsword, and I shall see it reap. But tell me...
Neither, Your Eminence.
Ah, I see. You are worried, yet you needn't be. Pride of place, but no more. For it...
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely, which is more than can be said for Oriflamme. The Empire wants for... with Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the... we need only build a wall around... Plans are already underway for the... Soon enough, these...
I fear you underestimate how... Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense.
The people will do as their leader. If Sanbreque is to be one whose authority... That is why this... So that any man who wishes to join the army... And yet, there are those...
I suspect.
Precisely.
The common folk have little and less. You would sow the seeds...
Sabine, we have discussed...
Yes! And I told you then how putting the Empire...
Without an empire, there are no...
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga...
Do not take her name in vain.
I'll come back later. The citizens revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
All right there. What is it you're after, sir?
Just your opinion, actually. I wondered what you thought of the Duke.
Oh, him. Not much. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop this side of the wall in the first place. And now he's trying to drive us out completely. If the dame said she wanted him run out of town...
I heard the dame got an eye concert with the meadows.
A question, if you don't mind. What do you think of the Duke of Oriflamme?
Don't get me started. You build a life for yourself somewhere, only for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, he's in for a rude awakening. We'll do whatever it takes to keep what's ours. Whatever it takes.
I've been hearing a lot of talk about a certain duke.
Nothing good, I'll wager. Going around acting like he owns the place. And with hardly a word to the dame. This is her town, not his.
I take it you'd rather she was in charge.
As far as I'm concerned, she still is. Just need his eminence to sod off back to Oriflamme.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
There were ghosts at the gates, not days. Those things I said before.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? I wondered if you'd mind sharing your thoughts on the Duke of Oriflamme.
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in the way he did. But I mean, look around us. You can see the state the realm's in. The traders might not like having the screws put on them, but if they volunteered a few more of their hard-earned gil before things got bad, maybe they wouldn't have to. I think the Duke's got a point when he says rebuilding the Empire's the best way of making sure we're all protected. And if that means people who don't know one end of a sword from another have to make way for those who do, well, that's just how it goes.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing.
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans to turn this town into some sort of fortress. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's word is law. Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't come for free. Once Sanbreque is back on her feet, we'll all reap the benefits.
As long as you remain, the veil will see.
You're the one who was talking to his...
On the Dame's behalf, yes. What do you think of his...
I'm a soldier, mate. Listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame. That's where my loyalties lie. If the Duke can get us some...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
What am I to do?
Captain, do you have a moment?
For you? Certainly. Clive, wasn't it? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about the Duke. Do you intend to go along?
But to tell you the truth, it's my sworn duty as...
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people.
That's right.
Well...
Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is... Well, thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive. How did you fare? Were you able to speak?
I was.
Well, Though I doubt it will come. They deserve to be heard.
Sadly, His Eminence, I fear he sees the people. Needless to say, they themselves soldiers mean, and not just because.
I thought as had I sworn to protect Sambra. Thank you for trying.
I don't know about...
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to them.
Why?
Because I realized what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters, but I'm certain they're not. And when they do come back, we need to stand with you to lead us, milady. It was you who finally There's no point following up.
Indeed.
Oliver, that has always been Northreach's. We have only to thank you, Philippe.
Anything. Speaking of, I fear His Eminence.
Not at all.
Wouldn't be the...
There may be hope for, especially with men like I, for my part, shall, but I suspect until then.
Until then.
Do you have any fresh water?
Who needs a porter when there's no real left?
Ah, Clive. You'll be pleased to know that the...
That is good news.
Yes, but I still have much, and you couldn't do me a...
What is it that...
Nothing like... I just need you to go over, find out exactly how...
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, Elle.
I know, but...
No buts about.
Is something wrong?
Bonnie came to give me the talks with the Republican Army are full. I've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak though prices have fallen of late. We deliberate, but the consortium of...
And you had no opportunity?
None at all.
Elle? I saw...
And with good...
But I thought we were the only ones. How did the consortium even find out?
It's not so surprising. This isn't over. I'm going to Randall.
Alone?
Are you offering? How kind. You go to... Even if someone...
Oh, and that... Well... From meeting the Silver Peak Consortium. She'll never join them after this, surely. She means to stay with us then.
You have to try...
You're right. And if Elle's off fight, so I bid you, I'll gather my... You go to Randall and see if you can stop my...
I'll do my... All right. To Randalar, then. I'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
What's happened?
What I wouldn't give for a home.
Looks like this is the end of the road.
When are they gonna let us through? Come on. Yeah!
All right. You deserve a rest. I hope I didn't keep you. Did you arrange just...
Here they are now.
You wished to consult with me.
I did. We had all but finished making arrangements.
You misunderstand. It was only our regard for you, and so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate, but what is done is done.
Alas, we rarely take on such unconventional merch. The bearers belong to him.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the... A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed. That's what you get.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture. They pay good money for bearers, not...
That does sound... No matter then. And with it, my interest...
My associates...
I'm sorry you weren't able...
As am I. He was right. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged. As soon as he left,
So you...
No. I entertained the consortiums, but I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out.
You tried.
I did. But they deserved... I wanted so badly to...
Eloise! Word from... A pack of beasts have come down. Theo and the others, they need help.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather...
Hold on, Theo. Ready, go? All right. That'll do, girl. Where's Theodore?
Upriver!
He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area's flooded with ether.
We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me. Time to fight. Where are you, Theo? Let's go. Yeah! Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures are already turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does. Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy. Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for... We have to get you out of here.
I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Theodore! Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you!
Elle.
Theodore.
Take care of my sister.
Theodore, wait.
Goodbye, Elle.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. to put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore. The Crimson Caravans is my family.
straight home now.
Faster!
Thanks, girl. Two down, one to go.
You have my thanks.
Without your next evening over.
So it's these stones to Canva, and the rest of the boxes to Dalamil.
You wouldn't happen to have a decent whetstone in there, would you, madam?
Here's the scraps you're after.
Lord Rosfield, is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. Have you learned any?
Little and
I see.
Be assured, however, that we even now are
fallen ruins.
Indeed. Ultimus through as if protect
secrets.
Should our method, mayhap it would
that be possible?
Of course. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov. I was due to visit my colleague. If you would consent to do.
All right.
They will. Might I suggest you take? It will lead you.
Thank you.
I wish you a.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing.
Everything's back the way it was. I don't know how. Clark?
I just wanted to see how the town's been
Since all is and firmly at the helm. Just as the good
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of...
It's the mayor, but if the people wish... Speaking of men, there may be a... May there... I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in, and they have formed what one, and they grow more...
We'll fight them all off, just like last time. Won't we?
Of course we will. The longer we avoid facing this one, our best by finding the... Perhaps... How could I refuse? Victor, I have him stationed by the desert. I'll go in.
What's the difference between a lord and
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition.
Master. Mandrake, saffron and sage.
Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnes by now.
I did. I've developed some... And having worked so hard to see it saved from what? A sentiment, Master Lubor...
You're not the only one.
What is it?
He asked for my aid in putting... And he said that you...
Then you've come at just the... There are more camps in the vicinity, but we must strike together, and we...
All right.
There's one upriver.
Leave it with me. Come on.
Those ne'er-do-wells won't get back.
That must be the... Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Nock and Fingers! Take his head off!
Stay down.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the banners.
No, but...
No.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a...
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't at some of the children's spot, and when Lubor fell, and without a Christ...
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been... If he has, well, still...
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here.
You're right. And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just some... Well, it was bad.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep... But we just...
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero. All that matters to me is that you two are...
Look at him talking to his...
All lies, I'll wager. Just
once people make up their mind, we need to do something. Convince the people not to let...
You're right.
I'm glad you agree. I'm a Dalmec born. You head to make Conrad and Nat. They know that Lubor and I are friends. Lord Underhill of Randalar's Legum.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything.
And that is all.
Why are you taking the bearer's side? Can you believe we were going to make I think we'd better shut up shop for today. If people want less...
Why do they always have to make such a fuss out?
He knew all along that he...
Forgive me for disturbing you, but... could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil. And they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why do they always have to make such a fuss outside? It's driving away our customers.
Victor take the bearer's side.
I assume there's still hope. But perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie. That a blade is a reflection of yourself be true. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own. But I do not doubt that she was always true, and so must I be. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain, for only united can they hope to... I'll need to make a suitable...
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who has ever will be all alone.
Trust me, little ones. It is for the best that I...
How could it possibly be for the best? The least you can do?
It would not take...
Overuse. And so just like that, you're going to throw this town. I thought you were better, but it seems you had me fooled as...
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor? Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. A reward for clearing up. Right then. I have packing to do. If there's anything I can do, I'll bear it in mind.
Bastard's been...
Can you believe we were going to... I think we'd better...
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
Gilbert, take this crystal.
Could be I know something more. What's it worth to you?
I've got 100 gil and a chocobo feather. Clive, listen! I found someone who says he's heard the rumours about Nan.
Have you?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling... Says the more swords and spears she put, and the more war be. And who will they all... Why, the good Reaper herself. Aye, you'll find her right here, plying...
Here in Delham. Where exactly?
She has a stall, but it'd be a bolder man. Feeling, but... Now, if that's all...
Sorry to...
You don't think...
Not unless she's discovered.
Eh?
Lady Karen hasn't left the...
Good question.
And I'll visit this store.
All right.
You too, Goots.
I always thought it was the blessing.
The bastard's been lying to us.
None of the stalls were plundered this time, thanks.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it? Thought I might have laid it on a bit thick.
It was a fairly unconvincing tale. So, what now?
That's up to you. Die a slow death, or a quick one. Boys, he's all yours. But that sword is mine.
Leave now and we could pretend this didn't happen.
Oh, you've done it now.
Go on. Tell me what I've done.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed, he only wanted that bull of a man. You weren't even supposed to be here.
What were you going to...
The Borgwyn wanted him to get... I was only supposed... Then you turned... Well...
You're not worth the effort. I need to find Good.
Get your filthy paws off me!
Stop calling me and stop spreading...
For they are not lies. Every last word is true. And she must...
Goose.
He said she had to pay...
After what she did, it is only right. That loathsome... Goots, was it? Only with your... Run along now.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. Promise me, or I'll kill you myself!
Goots, no.
Enough!
Karen.
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Well, the whole thing got me thinking. Who in Dalamil might bear me though it was just Boga? I thought the years might have taught you some sense. But I see you the same. What was it we called you? Wet legs.
You bitch! Everything that happened. It was all your fault. And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you... If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck.
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you wet.
Is he...
Tired? No. It's an easy going through life. What, after all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox, so took some of my own. But he crossed a line dragging pup. It didn't hurt you.
No, Nan. But...
Well, if he does, best we take the other eye, then we work our way down. But something tells me... Right. Let's get...
Remind me never to cross you, Karen. Good girl. Run like the wind. That's all of them. Owain can uncross his toes. Dory should be somewhere nearby. Assuming she's still here.
Ah, Clive, I'd like you to take something to seeds for planting. I'll keep providing them with whatever they... But if Eastpool's going to survive, as of those poor bears, they've lived their whole lives in small wonder they ain't got the fog. And if you're wondering why you... Well, Sir Wade's putting a brave...
All right.
Thanks. There. That...
Gizal greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop. Better that than something that'll whip. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together, they ain't exactly...
I'll take you.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll... I'll go up there and...
I'm sure you...
Seems to be changing so fast lately, I can hardly keep up.
Want to know how to tell if the world's going to rack and ruin? Look for busy bladesmiths.
Just because the heavens have gone to rack and ruin.
How do? That all, is it?
It doesn't still hurt, does it?
Oh, 1,000 Akashic jars couldn't hurt me.
It's been a pleasure, Doris. Just like old times.
I'll give your offers.
How goes the
Sid, what brings you to Martha's Rest?
You. I heard you were out here on your own, track...
Of course. She's no fool.
That was her just... So...
I'd say so. Seems her time in Rosaria is coming after her brush with those beast men on the road. She's dangerous, Sid. But...
Then I'm going. I'll take care of the escort.
The Baum Arches.
Good. They haven't broken camp yet. How did Doris come to know a slaver?
We've waited long enough. She's not coming.
Back to civilization.
With all haste. Lest I presume your men are ready. We've suffered too many delays as...
Yes.
Oh, it appears we have company. Kill him.
You're welcome to try. So much for your escort.
You'll forgive me for not avenging my men. I surrender.
Sid.
Ah, Doris. I take it you're not here to rescue me from our brooding renegade? You know, I always wondered, but casting your lot with this...
Better fighting for a cause. I'm sorry, Sid. This woman, my former master, once trained, she raised me like a daughter.
It wasn't all terrible. You were always so eager to learn. But you proved yourself a master of both. How about it, my...
I never swore my blade to you. Not to liberate the bear. Farewell, master. Thank you for making me the weapon.
You always were. Perhaps that's the reason I loved you.
What do you want to do?
I am not the killer she wanted me to be. Not anymore. And she no longer has friends in high place.
All right.
I am.
And I should head back to the hideaway and put coals.
Welcome back, Sid. Doris's message just arrived. I hear you saved more bearers from being smuggled...
With any luck, they'll be joining us in... Oh, and your letter.
I'd been hoping as much. So the slaver we'd been chasing all these months... She's been arrested, by the way, over in Sanbreque. And she won't be getting off lightly. The Empire can't have been easy.
I'm sure it wasn't.
I hope so. You had quite the past yourself before you... Anyway, thanks again, Sid.
Keep up the good work.
Come back.
What do you recommend?
So?
I did, and he was as helpful...
And what precisely will I be cooking up?
Blueback wyvern liver. And, a herb known as Saint Spot.
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Now then, let's hope these grand old chefs of yore...
And here we have it. Fried mortress of Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honour than partaking in a slice of culinary history?
So, not fit for consumption then?
What witchery is this? The crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is the piquant kiss of the saint's bonnet that tames this savage dish. It is a tour de force, a force of nature even, a maelstrom of flavour and sensation, a graceful beast emerging from centuries of slumber.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking. But I reckon you might be right. It was decent then, I take it.
Decent? It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the contrary. Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure a dozen blueback wyverns forthwith?
I'll give it some thought.
You look like you could do with a drink. As if setting our people free wasn't enough. Good news, everyone. The casks have been liberated. Here's to Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
Nothing like a dish of cold vengeance to foul the gut.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I just thought I had to.
Aye. Well, someone had to. Your parents reckon the both of us would be worth. You've always been me right, and I'd have you stay.
Well, I will. If you ever need.
Why, you big fine. Play the hero.
Thanks.
There's nothing he wouldn't.
That's as maybe. He'll need to start looking out for himself. Till then.
Of course.
Stop it. I don't go thinking that'll do you any favour.
Stew's awfully thin. Have you tried Molly's lemon tarts?
Canva lost.
It can't be true. Miss, can we read Miss Editor's story for a lesson?
With Canva in the hands of a Akashic.
Ah, sir.
Good, thankfully.
I'll fit him to the... May I... The Telemon furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my beacon.
It's fine.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I could...
You could just...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff, and I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's
Stretchy metal.
bad. So?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that. Can't think of any right now. Maybe even one day, the whole world...
They'll hardly...
How was she?
The Enterprise.
So, she don't need sails?
Then again, why settle for low-born chaff when we've honest-to-goodness royalty right here beneath our roof? If Prince Dion cannot see my love for him, then perhaps the Phoenix will.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back so... all yours. Come again. I may have more for you.
Ah, Lord Rossfield, what brings you?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gizal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings. I jest, of course. But they'd long since gone.
Martha was hoping he might be able to, so that they'll be...
That's not... These bearers had only recently escaped their... They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, so wait, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while now. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size. I had hoped to build a perimeter wall so that myself and the Guardians might be able to defend the village, but...
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an enormous if.
What if you could call on reinforcements from Eastpool?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die, fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will, a home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for. Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if
If you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance await, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall.
For Rosaria! For Rosaria!
We've no time.
And I will do.
Suppose we'd better...
Right.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes. Not let this village fall. Stay down. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl.
Or the better half of her gun. So wait.
Hard to say. I could order it.
No. You stay here too. I'll go after the curl. Join me only when...
If you're may the found...
Come to tell me an Akashic curl's heading towards the rest? Get yourself down there. We can handle things here.
I might not know one end.
The curl was sighted on Rhiannon's ride back towards Martha's Rest.
East Pool will be safe in our hands, my lord.
All right. Back to East Pool.
Lord Rossfield, the curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. We were able to eradicate. I have guardians posted around. I hesitate.
I think it
We saved East. Thank you.
No, so you brought us together.
We never had nothing to call our own before, but now we do.
Forgive us. Sir Wayne. But there's no doubt in my... We're free men now. We have to fight to protect...
And we shall. This is our home.
They'll have us to...
Come on, then. Let's get to...
This village isn't gonna...
They're not slaves, and...
No. Your father took pity on them, and I believe if he were still with us today, this...
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord. After all, this is my...
I think you'll find it's East Pud... But you should be proud, all the same. I'll have to pull my weight, too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be...
Can we continue to...
Of course. And I'd be counting on yours, too. As Rosarian.
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you... I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. Since that day there have been when the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor. I thought I may... But every time to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face...
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all...
Thank you. I know the rest of the world will be...
I'll do my best.
Thank you again for all you've done.
Here, it's lucky. Not only did my seed...
I just did what I...
And it's only right. Take it. So, Eastpool's finally back and a home.
Well, it was your...
I know that, but... Though I suppose the rest him. You know, bearers living free like that. Loath as I am to recall...
I take it you did...
Well, if you really want to know. In fact, that's how. He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Me, I thought he was... And before I knew it, they told me I was giving them relief, but not... Got right under my skin it did. Told him. And you know what he did? And then I did the same.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing, just like your dad. He certainly...
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambition, which is why those of us who follow...
Suppose you're... And if we don't manage it, good thing we've got... It's almost... Anyway, better get back to work. Let the least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal.
That sounds like a...
Can't say it wasn't a relief to see the better part of the Guardians finally taking their leave. We barely had room to breathe, what with them and us and all the others all crammed in together. They were good lads, though. I'll miss not having them around.